What's going on? What's up? It's Hossy Bomb, aka Randy, aka Papa Hoss today. That's right. And it's that time of year. The weather's changing. My house is already decorated for fall, and we're having a cookout on Sunday because it is currently Friday before Labor Day, and you can't have a cookout without a brisket. You can, but not on this channel. You can't. So today I'm going to show you how I like to trim my brisket, and I will warn you now, I do like to trim a little heavy. I'm a little heavy-handed on the knife, but I use it for burgers. I use it for tallow. I use what I cut, and I just wanted to show you how I trim my brisket. All right, so what we're working with today is a prime brisket from Sam's. It's about 18 and a half pounds, and when I say I'm heavy-handed with this, I'm going to cut all the extra decal fat, the mohawk. I'm going to cut all the little thin pieces. I'm going to shape it up a little bit. It's going to look like a real nice brisket. It's going to look like I take a whole lot off because, like I said, I'm heavy-handed. And yeah, so when I open it, I always just cut right in this decal fat part because it's going to be removed anyways. And yeah, it's a pretty good size. Like I said, 18 and a half pounds. It's almost too big for my cutting board, which is like 18 by 24 inches. And just gonna pat it down a little bit, try to avoid some mess. But yeah, can't really do too much when you're working with a beast like this. Let me throw this away real quick. Oh boy. That can go in the sink for now. That's gonna need cleaned up. Pat this side down. And like I said, I'm getting rid of the mohawk, the decal fat. I'm gonna shape it up a little bit. Anything that's got some like thin edges or anything, I'm gonna shape up. It looks like it's pretty thick on the flat as it is, so I won't have to trim too much, luckily. But I am gonna try to make it a little aerodynamic and try to make it look nice. This is part of a 3-part series where it's gonna be this. It's gonna be how to make your own tallow, which, lucky for me, I'm gonna have plenty of beef fat after this. And then it's going to be how to cook the brisket itself. And usually when I do the tallow video, I usually that just came off. I usually just smoke it in the smoker. I'm actually going to put it on the stove. I'm going to show you how I make tallow when it's not smoked, and it's going to be a good video. So we're going to start on the meat side first. I'm just cutting some of these scraggly bits. I do smoke my briskets top side or fat side up, whether that's in an offset or a pellet smoker. This will be going in a pellet smoker tomorrow. It's just how I like to. Like, you see how this just came up? It's got to go. And yeah. Trim some of this fat. And what's funny is last week I did an untrimmed brisket, and it turned out really good. You can do an untrimmed brisket, and you just got to cook it at a decent temperature where everything renders. And that's not what I'm doing with this monster. Is it recording? Yeah, we're good. I'm actually doing it low and slow, my normal method. But with that, I may end up doing a untrimmed brisket on this channel. If you want to see that, go ahead, comment below. Just do hashtag untrimmed. And yeah, trust me, I never need an excuse to cook extra brisket. Just trying to get some of this extra fat so it can actually render down completely. It's a lot of hard fat right here. And if you take some meat away with it, it's cool. It's alright. There's a lot of meat here. You're gonna do what you want to do. It's your brisket, your money, and that's why I make sure I make tallow and burgers out of the fat that I cut, because it is getting expensive for brisket, that's for sure. And I'm not a fancy YouTuber. I'm just a guy with a few smokers in the backyard. Nothing special. A couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. I'm pretty happy with what I got. I got a Oklahoma Joe's Highland smoker. That's my offset, and then I got a big boy, my pellet smoker, which is a Pit Boss Savannah XL. I think it's either Savannah or Savannah XL, and it's what I like to smoke my briskets on, just because I like doing the overnight smoke. Like I said, I am doing a party on Sunday. It is currently Friday night, so I'm prepping. I will be trimming the brisket in this video, and then I'll also be showing you how I season it. It's seasoning a brisket, so it's not the most complicated thing in the world. But yeah, how are we on time? I can't tell. I can't see. Just getting rid of some of that. Alright, so that's really all I'm going to do for the underside. I'm going to start working on the fat side now. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much like shape-wise here. I'm going to shape up the edges a little bit. But it's pretty thick. It's a lot. Well, I don't know. I might do a little bit because it's a lot of fat cap. First, I'm going to start with this piece of fat right here. Just cutting this. And as you can see, this is pretty much all fat. Okay, I went a little deeper than I wanted. But it's alright, because now you can see the pressure's marbling. And I'm going to shape this side up a little bit, just so it looks a little neater. Save that bit for burger. Got some of this extra fat. Oh, like I said, I'm going to make burgers and I'm going to do tallow in this, but I just wanted it to look nice. Have some decent size. I'm going to cut some extra fat off here. And you want to cut it where the fat on top is about 1/4 inch. So that's what I'm going for right now. If you go a little bit low and it's a little bit less than 1/4 inch, it's not going to kill the brisket. These things are tough pieces of meat. This is a monster piece of meat because I'm pretty sure this cow did steroids or lifted weights or something. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut this edge, straighten it up, and then possibly curve the edge. I think I'm gonna curve the brisket, and then I'm gonna just cut a small little sliver here. So let's cut the end here. Also, I know it's becoming pretty popular to use a slicing knife instead of like a boning knife like this. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the long blade when trimming a brisket, or do you do the old faithful boning knife? Let me know in the comments below. Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to take too much off the top. Like I said, you can see a little bit of meat there. It's fine. This little piece at the end, I'm not sure if you can see it. Right here, this little piece, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that off. And what I'm gonna do is when I make the tallow video, I'm gonna separate it to pure fat to meat as much as I can. I'm gonna save the meat for later, and then the That I'm going to make into a tallow tomorrow. And I'm just going to curve this up a little bit, just so it's a little bit more aerodynamic. I know this is the part where a lot of people hate because you're taking so much of the meat, but just making it look a little bit nicer. And honestly, I'm almost done, to be honest, which is weird that I said honest that many times in a sentence, but I did. I'm going to cut a little more off. Oops, I got down to the meat. What am I going to do? I ruined it. It's alright. Yeah, cut some of that off. I tell you what, the weather changing thing may have been a joke because it's fall in my house, but my allergies, they are kicking in like it is fall. But the good thing about fall is it's almost spooky season, which means horror movies will be played on my phone because my daughter is 3.5 and she controls the TV, and she's not a big fan of the horror movies yet. But straighten this edge out a little bit. Curving it out, making it aerodynamic. Alright, so this, for the flat, that's definitely thick enough now. You see it's about 1/4 inch. I'm going to clean up some of these scraggly pieces. It's definitely more manageable. It's not as fatty on top. It's good for me. I'm gonna cut this piece down a little bit more right here because you see that's a big piece of fat that's not gonna render down real well. So I'm just gonna cut that down a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, now I'm pretty happy with that. Just cleaning it up a little bit more. And yeah, that's all I really got to do. I keep saying that and I keep trimming a little bit more each time. But I'm just making sure these little pieces don't burn. And alright, so now I'm done. Next step is going to be the seasoning of the brisket. See you there. Alright, now that we got it seasoned, we are going to go ahead and put some of Papa Hall's brisket rub on. It's top secret. It's actually not a secret. It's 2 parts Lowry's, 2 part black pepper, 1 part Lowry's, 1/2 part garlic, 1/2 part onion. And go pretty high up, get a nice even pattern. You can be pretty heavy-handed on the seasoning as well because it's a big piece of meat and it can take it, like your mom. Also, don't forget the sides. No rookie moves here. Come on. Didn't need to scalp that, but... Okay. We're going to do the sides now. Or we're going to do the side, I should say. We're going to do the front. And I'm putting it in this pan because I'm trying my best not to make a mess. Because I don't want my wife to kill me so I can actually make the brisket. She started talking about earlier today that the Chinese food I had for dinner was my last meal. So she said it a couple times, and it started to sound more like a threat than a joke. So we aren't gonna risk it for the brisket. And like I said, it's my little recipe. It's 2 parts black pepper, 1 part Lowry's, half a part granulated onion, granulated garlic is another half part. By parts, I mean any measurement that you use. I don't know what I used to fill this up, but I know it was a lot. And even though it's a rub, you want to make sure you pack the seasoning in. And we're going to get this little piece right here. There you go. And what I like to do is, even with my seasoning being pepper heavy as it is, I like to go ahead and add just a little bit of granulated, or not granulated, 16 mesh black pepper to this, just so it can be really barky. So if you just bear with me a minute, I will get that. And I'll just add another heavy coating of black pepper, really give the bark something. So it's more like 3 or 4 parts black pepper, but that's totally up to you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit overnight. Let everything absorb into the brisket, the salt, the onion, the garlic. The black pepper is just going to chill and relax. But I'm going to do that overnight. Tomorrow is when I cook the brisket. And yeah, that's how I trim and season a brisket. Now that I got my hat back on, yeah, that's how I do my brisket. I trim it. I did come away with a decent amount, so that'll be for tallow tomorrow. I have a little bit of meat that I'm going to save for burgers. Guys, if you went ahead and liked this video, go ahead, like, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to have part 2 to this brisket series coming out relatively quick, and that's where I'm going to turn this into liquid gold and make beef tallow. And then after that, part 3 of the series is going to come where I actually cook that bad boy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay wholesome. Peace.